Merci. Merci.
Thank you. I'd like to start by thanking all those who have supported me throughout this race.
To my wife and family, my friends, my incredible team, and all my supporters, I am deeply, deeply grateful. Thank you. Now, we are living in challenging times. Our economic security and our very sovereignty is under threat. But the man who challenges us does not know our history, and he does not understand our values. We are builders who stitched this country together with a railroad. We are fighters who have stood up against tyranny all around the world. Yet at the same time, we're also peacekeepers who have come to the aid of others in their time of need. Nous sommes une nation distincte.
We're a distinct nation with French throughout the country, focused on Quebec. And above all,
we are a compassionate people who put in place a social safety net and a healthcare system to look after all of our citizens. So this is who we are. We are builders. We are fighters. We are peacekeepers. Nous sommes une nation dotée d'une
we are a
riche
nation with a rich cultural identity.
compassionate people. So, we will not be intimidated by a tweet. And we will not be broken by a tariff. Nous sommes les Canadiens.
We are Canadians, and together we will build our nation.
The true north, strong and free, and we will always be. Tonight, as we choose our next leader, regardless who that is, let us go forward together into our future with confidence and optimism. Merci. Merci tout le monde. Merci, merci.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right, that is leadership candidate Frank Baylis making his entrance into the room. Each of the candidates will do so, and here comes Chrystia Freeland. I'm here with Hannah Thibodeau and Graham Richardson. Hannah, let's talk a bit about the Freeland campaign.
Yeah, you know, you see her there. That's her husband on the left. The Freeland campaign, she's the reason we're all here today. Let's remember that. She was the one that pulled the pin and the rug under from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, saying that his financial handling was just not up to par. She decided that she was not going to deliver the fall economic update that day. It was a shock for the Prime Minister. I think it was Bob Fife who reported that day that the Prime Minister was sitting outside in his car when he got the news from her. For her campaign, I've been talking to some people on the floor, and they really feel that she could be the one to take on Donald Trump. But let's remember, this is something that was a different Donald Trump the time that she took him on years ago, as opposed to now. They're different circumstances.
Good point.
Yeah.
Man-eater. Right?
That was her campaign theme song.
I love it. I love it. Her problem, if there's no Mark Carney in the mix, her problem, of course, is she was there the whole time. It's hard for them to change the story, and they have to change the story. I know what the Conservatives are saying about Mr. Carney. He was there, too. Is that Lloyd Axworthy there? I think it is.
I think it is. One of her higher profile endorsements.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a very, very serious, obviously, international liberal voice. With Mr. Carney, it's easier to say they are changing the channel and and moving on from Mr. Trudeau, even though the Conservatives continually try to tie him to
And look at that,
Trudeau.
Graham, in the debates, when I asked the final question, what separates you from Justin Trudeau, she didn't even answer the question. And that was her chance to really stand up and speak and say, I am different from this government. I am trying to separate myself from the former Prime Minister, but she totally ignored it.
Actually, it was a great last question, I thought, and it was so interesting. And you actually went back to it.
I did.
To get her to give an answer, because she really, didn't want to at first, which is fascinating considering, Graham, the way it all started.
And, I don't want to overemphasize it, but I am reminded of the rush to Martin in that leadership race. It was so obvious where it's going. Maybe not as strong here to the rush to Carney, but clearly given the cabinet backing and the establishment backing he has, it would be a massive shocker if she were to win today. That being said, the last Liberal convention I covered was way back.
Was that Stéphane Dion?
It was Stéphane Dion in 2006. Nobody predicting that. A little different scenario here.
But the question becomes, if she does not win tonight, which we don't expect but still possible, will she be brought in under the Carney team?
And let's listen to her opening message to Liberals gathered here in Ottawa.
Good evening. Bonsoir. I want to start by thanking the amazing people who have volunteered on my campaign and donated to my campaign. Merci beaucoup. Je vous apprécie.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for all your help.
Et je sais.
And I know that we all want to thank the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau this evening as well.
There is a remarkable wave of patriotism across our country. Canadians are ready to stand for Canada. Canadians are ready to fight for Canada. And I know all of us have one message for Donald Trump tonight. Canada will never be the 51st state.
Across the country, Canadians are ready to fight for Canada. We're ready to defend Canada. And Canada will never become the 51st U.S. state.
Just in December, people were writing off our Liberal Party. But tonight, we all know that we can, we must, and we will defeat Pierre Poilievre and his maple syrup mega. Oui, on va gagner.
We are going to win.
The Liberal Party is the party that has always fought for Canada, and together we will win. Vive le Canada!
Long live Canada.
Merci.
All right, that's former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland delivering her opening remarks to the crowd assembled. Next up, Karina Gould is going to make her way in. Graham, I'll start with you. As the former government House leader, does. What do you make of her campaign?
I thought it was great. I think really she introduced herself to Canadians who don't necessarily know her. She's a long shot to win, but she was a voice of the left, if you will, the left of center, which I think a lot of Liberals were looking for. Not everybody agrees that they need to shift back to the center. And just before we move on with more Karina Gould talk, I will point out to everybody, this is a small thing but important. This room looks amazing. It looks like an energized Liberal Party. That's the the snapshot that they want. It doesn't look moribund. It doesn't look like they're on the ropes because they don't feel like they are anymore. And as a television production, at least so far, even though the votes haven't been counted, it looks like they're in for a fight. And just a few weeks ago, they were not.
Interestingly, some behind-the-scenes gossip. This is the smaller room of the rooms that they could get at the Shaw Center. When they initially booked it, they were worried about even being able to fill this room.
Right.
And now their demand outstripped the tickets they had available. Like their own party. Somebody just before we went on air said the last time they were here for their Christmas party, it felt like a wait.
Yes.
And now it's anything but. That was like 3 months ago, not even.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I want to talk about Karina Gould before we get to her. I'm keeping an eye on her, but this is the youth of this party as well. One of the things that this party needs to do is get that 18 to 35 vote. And if I were Mark Carney, if he wins tonight, I would bring her in. I would bring her in a big position because, let's be frank, he's an older white male.
Yeah.
He may have that vote. When Justin Trudeau won in 2015, he won it because of legalization of pot and bringing in that youth vote between 18 to 35. It has now gone to the Conservatives, if you look at the numbers, and they need a way to bring that back. This might be that person who could do it for them if Mark Carney takes it tonight and plays those cards properly.
All right, Hannah and Graham, thank you so much. We're going to listen in live to Karina Gould.
Good evening, everyone. Today is a wonderful day for the Liberal Party of Canada.
Great day for the Liberal Party of Canada. I want to start by saying thank you to each and every one of you. You participated, you joined the party, you voted, you volunteered, you made donations, and the Liberal Party of Canada is strong because of each and every one of you. C'est quoi le Parti libéral?
What's the Liberal Party? Well, it's the members, it's the supporters across the country. It's a strong party. Our party is always there to defend Canada and to defend Canadians as well.
Our party is made of incredible Canadians who care so deeply about this country, and it is always the Liberal Party of Canada that stands up for Canada and stands up for Canadians. And this leadership campaign has shown that there are so many Canadians willing to stand strong for Canada. Et moi, je suis plein.
And I'm very inspired because of you, the members of our party. You're here to stand up for Canada.
And through it all, we have remembered who we are as Liberals. I am proud to be a Liberal in Canada. Je suis fière d'être libérale.
I'm proud to be a Liberal here in Canada.
And let's remember, we are the party of healthcare. We are the party of the Charter. We are the party of the Maple Leaf. We are the party of multiculturalism. We are the party of reconciliation. We are the party that fights climate change. And we are the party of national childcare. Et c'est grâce à vous.
And it's thanks to you, thanks to the members and Liberal supporters that always have the best ideas for Canada.
This country who dream big for Canada so that Liberal governments can deliver for Canadians. So tonight, whatever the result, we leave here proud Liberals, proud Canadians, and united so that we can take the fight to Pierre Poilievre, win the next election, and stand up for Canada. Merci tout le monde.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right, that's the third of four candidates we are slated to hear from tonight. The last one we await is Mark Carney. I am here now with Anne McGrath, Principal Secretary to NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, Shakir Chambers, Conservative Strategist and Vice President at Oyster Group, and Brian Gallant, former Liberal Premier of New Brunswick, now CEO of Space Canada. Hi, guys.
Hello.
We're watching Mark Carney, Shakir, make his way into the room. I think the question on the mind of a lot of Canadians who are maybe not in this room is the degree to which this is a fait accompli. You've been walking around talking to people. What's your gut tell you?
I think it's over. I think everybody knows Mark Carney will be the next leader of the party. So we should just see what he says right now. But I think for the Conservatives, they've been gearing up for this. They know Mark Carney is going to be the next leader. So let's get it on and see how Pierre challenges Mark Carney as the leader of the party.
Brian, what are you looking for in the I mean, it's brief comments. It's an introductory moment for Mark Carney. But what are you looking for if this is a fait accompli for him in the message he delivers to the room and outside it?
Well, I wonder if Mark heard Shakir just say that he won. I mean, he's probably going to be a little more peppy, a little peppier during his speech. But I think for me, one of the biggest things is to see how the crowd reacts to all the other candidates, and more specifically, if we think Mr. Carney is going to win, then how people will react to him, to see if all the crowd, even those supporting others, will
And
be pumped.
we'll listen in live right now.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Je veux vous poser quelques...
I'd like to ask a couple of questions. Who's ready? Who's ready to stand up for Canada?
Qui est prêt?
Who's ready to help the Liberal Party win the most important election of our lives? We have to do this. Chrystia's ready. Frank's ready. Karina's ready. Everyone in this room's ready to do that.
C'est ça. We have to win this election. The big election. And we will stand shoulder to shoulder together to do it. Because the stakes have never been higher. You have just heard from my colleagues what we stand for as the Liberal Party. The Charter, healthcare, childcare, opportunity. We have made this the greatest country in the world. And now, our neighbors want to take us. No way. No way. Impossible. This party has more than quadrupled its membership in the past 2 months. More than 300,000 members. Old Liberals, and my definition of old has changed, but old Liberals coming back, members who've never been part of a party before, united with one purpose, which is to make Canada even greater pour tous les Canadiens et Canadiennes.
Greater for all Canadians.
Dernier mot. Whatever the result tonight, I'll be proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with my collègue candidat, working with you, with Liberal volunteers across this country in service of Canadians. Merci tout le monde. À bientôt. Vive le Canada.
Thank you, and long live Canada.